practicing in the rain. How much do you think that's helping? So there are a lot of elements. It also hasn't been hot.
For us, when it comes to practicing in the rain, I think it's just about mental toughness, right? Blocking out all the external factors, and can you really lock in on the details, the fundamentals of your job, and still go out and perform at a high level. I thought it was much better today. I'm actually happy we had the rain and back-to-back days to see how guys responded a little bit better today. Much better ball security, much cleaner practice today.
DeMeco, what is your vantage point with CJ, and I assume there's no concern?
No concern on CJ at all. He's doing great, having a great camp.
No, he meant about fully stepping on his foot.
No concern with CJ at all. He's doing great.
You're 8 days into camp now. What have you liked from your wide receiver group?
From our wide receiver group, I really love just the competitive spirit of all those guys. Right, seeing guys step up, different guys making plays each day. And it starts with Steph and the way he comes to work. I think that rubs off on everybody else. He shows up with a competitive enthusiasm that it starts to permeate throughout his position group, but also just our entire team. So with guys showing up like that, man, I love the competition. It's a really good group, and I'm excited to see how guys show up in games. But they've been doing a great job at practice.
You talk about Mechie and what you're seeing. Is he starting to kind of step into that role?
Yeah, with Mechie, I'm seeing a guy who is much faster, like playing with more confidence. Like you see the guy who he was when he was at Alabama, right? You see that explosiveness is starting to show, right? And he made a lot of plays early on in camp, and he's still making plays. So I think Mechie just has to keep stacking days, continue to get better, right? But I think he's definitely in a really good space mentally and physically.
Coach, you have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball, but how comfortable is it for you to have players that you have been associated with in the past, like Aziz and with Ward? And what is it about Ward that his aggressiveness, once he puts his pads on, his whole mindset just changes?
Yeah. What I love about our defense is from these past 2 days is they set the tone. And that's what we have to be as a defense. We want to be tone setters. So the guys I've worked with in the past, talk about Aziz and Jimmy, I know the type of tenacity that they bring to the field. They love playing football. They love playing it in a physical manner. Right? We can't lose sight of how physical football has to be played. That'll be our style. Right? That's our MO. We want to play physical. We're going to fly around to the football. And no two guys exhibit that the most than Jimmy and Aziz.
What did you see from Dameon? How he's developed every day?
Yeah, Dameon is he's playing fast. He's making play every day. He's showing up, making plays. I love what he's doing in the kick return game. He's just every day he makes a play. So I'm excited to see where Dameon is. I think he'll be in a much better spot this year than he was last year.
Now that we have a couple of practices, Derek Stingley has played throughout camp.
Say it again.
How would you categorize how Derek Stingley has looked throughout camp?
Yeah, Derek has been consistent, and he's been consistent, and he's able. We talk about iron sharpening iron at this time, and I mean for him competing against Tank, Nico, Diggs, like they continue to get better, right? And that's what I love about him. He's making the receivers better, the receivers making him better. That's what camp is all about, and Derek is doing a really good job this camp.
When you talk about when you kind of assess your defense and where you want them to be, what type of things do you kind of look for, and do you feel like you spoke glowingly about them, but do you feel like they're where you need them to be right now?
Well, we'll see when we play live action, right? It's one thing to do it in practice, but can you hold yourself to a high standard each and every day? Each and every time you step out on the grass, are you playing with maximum effort? Are you playing together? We'll see when the lights come on.
Now that you've had a couple of practices fully padded, what have you made out of the battle between the offensive line and the defensive line?
It's no battle. It's just guys. We work together, and that's one of the groups that a lot of people, you don't realize and you don't understand. Like when we're in this practice setting, like there has to be some give and take amongst the D line and O line, and no group more important than those guys of trying to stay up, trying to protect the quarterback. So it's a fine line with the O and D line of competing and going. So they've done a great job of working with each other all camp, and we'll get a great evaluation of those guys in the 4 preseason games.
Coach, you talk about with the players how iron sharpens iron, sharpens iron, but how does that mantra carry over to on the coaching side? Because there's some battles between you with you and Bert going up against Bobby and his offense.
For sure. I tried to poke him a little this morning. Told him we're gonna break the record of getting the ball out again today. So it's all in competitive spirit, right? We all love each other, work well together, but we also show that competitive fire as well. You know, they'll get us on some plays, we'll get them on some plays. So it's a lot of back and forth. But as coaches, right, it's making sure we get as many different looks as we can. So we're always working with each other to make sure we're sharpening, right, the offense, giving them what they need. They give us what we need on particular plays. So when coaching staffs are working together, that's how you make your team better. And we have a really tight coaching staff.
In comparison to last training camp for this one, it feels like this year, defensively, you guys feel a little bit more physical. What do you think is the biggest difference from last year to this year in the sense of like training camp, because you really getting after it?
I'm not sure. That's a great question, but I forgot last year already. So it's all about 2024 and how can we make our mark as 2024, the Houston Texans of 2024. That's what it's about, right? I really don't look back and compare it to last year. Last year, different guys, different team. 2023 Texans accomplished some really good things, but man, we're behind. That's behind us, and now we're moving forward. It's all about, man, you have to establish and you have to work to create an identity each and every year. So that's what this camp is about. That's what preseason will be about. It's like, man, who are we when we step on the field in 2024? Who are the Texans, right? And it should look different. It should look better than where we were before.
That's one. Skowronek, what are you seeing from Skowronek?
Skowronek does a great job when it comes to special teams, does a great job of communicating, offense, being able to play multiple spots, tough guy, likes to get in there, get his nose bloody, block a little bit. So I like the physicality of Skowronek, and I like how smart he is, and I like how he really does a great job of communicating.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, good. Thank you, guys.
Off day.
And get out there and dance.
Having another year under your belt in this offense, how much better do you feel your comfort zone with knowing everything?
Significantly. I'd say more so, like, obviously recognizing what's being called, getting in and out, but like the run concepts and, you know, understanding like exactly how we're, you know, teaching it and having like a year of mistakes sometimes, like, and then being able to work through it. And it's like we're starting to see like, okay, this is how it should look, this is how it should play out. Like just getting that like comfortability with all of us, especially in the blocking schemes. Like that's something that we spend a lot of time on in OTAs, and when the pads come on, we're starting to finally see some fruits from our labor. So definitely helps for sure.
What is the thing? What do you think about how the defense has played against you? We seem to make some good plays. What have been your impressions so far?
I'm excited about our defense. From the front seven to the back end, like it's a challenge going against them every day, and that's something that, you know, we love. Like being able to go against some of the best in the league, like on the other side of the ball every single practice, like that's only going to make you better. And they've challenged us so far, and I think you know, they've gotten some good reps on us, and we're looking forward to just being able to, you know, make it through and fight and try to figure out how to win in those one-on-one battles, because honestly that's what it comes down to, is like when you're one-on-one. So I'm excited about our defense. I'm excited about what they're kind of putting together. I'm excited about the guys that we've gotten and how they're playing so far in camp.
What went into the scuffle, dust up the other day?
It's just football stuff, bro. It's just football shit.
No hard feelings?
No.
What have you liked about the competitiveness of the wide receiver room and what Stephon Diggs is like? Does that bleed over to the tight end room?
No, for sure. Steph's a very vocal guy, and he brings energy and juice to every room that he walks in. So, you know, that's something that, you know, we had some vocal guys last year, but I don't think we had anything kind of to what he's been so far. And dude, it's been great. Like having that juice, that emotion, that like you can just tell like he's competitive as hell. Like when he steps out, like he wants to like just win everything all the time. Like he wants to win the race, jogging off the field. Like he's just that kind of dude. And when you surround yourself with guys like that, like it's contagious. And so I think he's been really beneficial for the offense as a whole.
All set? Thank you.
Easy.
What's your off season like?
Oh, the interview starting right now? Hey, how y'all doing too? I love y'all too. But hey man, the off season though, it was a very intense one for me. Just was very deliberate about my body, my mind, just making sure I could come back to Houston, ready to go mentally, also physically, and keep up with the demands that Slow and Coach Barrett, expect of me, and exceed that to, my utmost potential.
You mentioned Coach Barrett yesterday. We were asking about you and how the situation, you said things are starting to really just slow down for you. And is you on point and how you're able to approach it now, where you are now as far as moving forward with this season?
Yeah, I can piggyback off that. Coach Beard, this is my third year with him, so he knows me probably better than anybody on the staff in terms of, how I process information and how I, go out and perform on the field and my process of actually taking it in and retaining it. So I'll say that's pretty much on point. Everything's slower, and it is allowing me to play faster. Because, the less I think, the better I am. Because I'm like a player who don't like to think alike. I like to get my assignment, go off of that, and, whatever the read shows, I can just play fast off of that. Like, I don't want to be – like, last year was a lot of, what was this on that play? Like, is this outside zone read? Is it mid zone read? Like, all the cobwebs are gone from that. And, DBs have done he's done a great job of being deliberate with me and not giving up on me. And I can't thank him enough.
Last year, in the middle of the season, you weren't even reflective. Like, in the moment, you were saying it was a very valuable year for you, perhaps your most important as a pro. What allowed you, like, in the moment where a lot of people would be frustrated, to have that type of mindset? And do you still feel like last year was real valuable for you?
Yeah, 5 years from now, bro, I'm going to be able to say that year 2 was my best year. Probably not on paper, but the process and the growth that I had mentally is going to be something that's carry over to every year that I play in this league. Just being able to deal with the lows, being able to battle through injuries, being able to bounce back, being able to just sit back and see that, it's necessarily not a bad thing. It's unfortunate, right? Nobody wants to be on the sideline. Nobody wants to be hurt. Of course, I want to be, I want to be Peasy. I want to be DP. I want to be out there making plays. I want to be out there with my guys. I want to be out with my brothers. But ultimately, like, the first step in solving a problem is honesty. And if we're being honest, I didn't invest enough time into myself. I didn't invest enough time into my body. I didn't invest enough time in making sure I was, clear on the playbook and sound in my fundamentals. So at the end of the day, the only person I can point the finger at is me. So knowing that and going through that process with that mentality, it helped me a lot in terms of, not trying to point the blame at anybody else and just owning it, owning my situation, coming back, showing the coaches that I've grown, showing the coaches that I got in better shape mentally and physically.
What allows you to do that in the moment, though? Because you're young. I know I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, what allows you in the moment to be able to do that?
I just have a great circle of people around me. I have a lot of, I think the most important thing about my circle is I have a lot of people who are honest around me. I got a lot of people who aren't afraid to tell me, hey, DP, you tripping, bro. Like, this ain't you. Like, get better, do better. Like, I expect more from you. I got a lot of people who have a lot of high expectations of me, and also I have a high expectation of myself. So anything a coach can say to me, anything, my mom can say to me, I done already beat myself up 1,000 times over it before they can even come to me once about it. So that just goes to show, how hard I am on myself and how I internalize that and how I process that and, doing it in a healthy way. I think that's the most important thing, doing it in a healthy way, having a circle around me and just going through it like that, man. I just know, like, my mom, she's somebody I lean on a lot of times. Like, now I hate to say it, but, like, when I get in my moods, I get the moods where I don't want to talk to nobody, and she understands that, but she keep pushing me. She like, hey, I know you're mad right now, but I'm here. I still love you. And I just want to apologize to her publicly. Like, Mom, I'm sorry. I still love you. Ain't no love lost. But I definitely got to give credit to my mom, for being my rock always, like she always has been. And just, years like that, like, I just know my mom is one of the people, like, in years like that, she's going to be the one with me at my lowest lows, and she's going to be the person by me through my highs and everything in between.
What do you think about the team?
I got him there.
What would you say is your focus this preseason and going into this upcoming season?
Being number 31. Being Dameon Pierce. And to me personally, that is playing fast. That's being explosive. That's being a playmaker. That's being a high caliber running back in this league, like I have shown flashes of. But now the challenge is being consistent in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? How can I stack days? How can I stack games? How can I stack weeks? How can I attack recovery? How can I attack the playbook? How can I attack being a better teammate? A lot of those things go into being a better running back and being a better back for this team. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, as long as my goals align with the team goals, all my personal goals will follow. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what the focus is, just keeping the main thing, and being number 31 at the end of the day and having fun.
What do you think about the team adding Joe, and what's it been like having him?
Man, I love having Joe, bro. you know, I have veteran guys in the room. Like I played with Marlon, I played with Rex Burkhead, I played with Dev last year. You know, he went to New York, got a great contract. But you know, I ain't never played with a guy like Joe. You know, a back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher in this league. You know, that's somebody I aspire to be. That's something I aspire to do. That's a standard I have for myself. That's something I think every back wants in this league, especially being a young guy. And you know, Joe came in this league when he was like 20, 21. So he's been that young guy on the team. He's been that veteran guy in the room. So and he's been everything in between as well. He's also had a year where he was hurt, and he bounced back and had a 1,000-yard year after that. So having Joe Mixon in the running back room is a great addition in my mind. And in terms of my development, you know, it gives me, you know, it motivates me because that's somebody I look up to. Joe's one of my favorite running backs when he was at Oklahoma, and then getting drafted going to the Bengals. You know, I was like, he always been in my top 5. Like as current running backs, he always been in my top 5. So it's just crazy to kind of like have like that welcome to the NFL moment. Like, oh, it's Joe Mixon in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really had that before, and it's kind of cool, you know, to see somebody that I look up to be in my running back room, and I have him to lean on for information, support, or anything I ever need. Because he's a very vocal guy. You know, he's cool. He's chilling. Like when he come in the room, like if he see a run or something, like he'll be like, "Hey, DP, like you know, like you always don't got to do this on that play. Like it sometimes go out that back door. Like just keep that in your mind." He always goes to like, you know, just give me his viewpoint of the game and how he processes information on the field as well. So having Joe is a great addition.
Let's do two more. We'll do Cody and then Cole.
What's it been like with the special teams work and maybe doing some things that you haven't done before when it comes to special teams?
Oh, I done did everything on the book on special teams. That's why, like when I got drafted, the second person I talked to was Frank Ross, our special team coordinator. Like he was like, "Hey man, practice on kick side, so when we come to training camp, you'll be ready." So like I've had a lot of special teams work in college, and being with Greg Knox, he was our special team coordinator and the running back coach, so I couldn't run from it. So you know what I'm saying, I've been on punt return, kickoff, kick return. So like all these things are not new to me, but being in Frank Ross's special teams, you know, it's like boot camp. So you know, it's a grind every day, it's war every day, and I love it because I think that's one thing I was lacking last year was a little bit of conditioning. You know, it's keeping me in shape, it's keeping me moving, it's keeping my mind turned on. I'm not on the side, let's lollygagging during special teams like I usually would, and I'm just learning stuff and being put in positions that I normally wouldn't. But also, I'm translating some of the positions I'll be in. For example, like being right wing is a lot like being a running back in pass protection. You know, I got to get back, I got to stay square, I got to use my hands, and you know, I can't lose inside leverage. You know, things like that. Just to name a few. But being on the special teams unit, you know, it's fun to me. You know, it's a great way to stay in shape. It's great work, and I'm gonna keep going till Frank kick me off, man.
We'll close the call.
DP, everyone's kind of praised you for your work ethic, for how you translated this year, but there's always got to be that internal factor of dissatisfaction for you. Where are you not satisfied up to this point in camp, and where do you want to get better?
Up to this point in camp, I'm not satisfied about last year, but I can't let last year affect this year. Like last year, it's balled up, thrown away. It's always noted. Everything is forever noted. You know what I'm saying? Like I always got to keep it in the memory bank. But last year, I just look at things I did wrong and try to fix everything I did wrong and carry over this year and add on that and compound on that. You know what I'm saying? Just try to, like I told him, like I'm just trying to stack my days, bro. I'm just trying to get back to me. And I've been being me this camp. Coaches see it, my teammates see it, and most importantly, I see it. I feel it. I feel great. I feel good, and I'm in a great spot right now mentally, man. And you know, most of that goes to my inner circle, like I mentioned before. And I got teammates supporting me. I got coaches supporting me, and I'm just glad to be Houston Texans, man.
Appreciate it, DP.
Thank y'all.
Gotta get that top 5 RB list sometime.
Off something that you can do or capable of? Is there any situation where we would see you doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, hopefully it gets to the point where, you know, I don't have to hit kickoffs, but it's something I can do, you know, if called upon. But yeah, maybe I should start practicing a few here and there just to just to get the leg back. But yeah.
The bonding and the operation chemistry, all that stuff. How's that going with Naeem and John?
It's been great, especially, when you have vets like them, they've been around the league for a while and they're successful vets as well. So, the transition's been super easy. I think we have great chemistry and, I'm excited to just keep building that and going forward.
Coming from Kansas City, obviously, what a contending or winning team looks like. Just kind of what do you see with this guy, having this experience that you had in Kansas City?
Oh, I'm super excited. I mean, first and foremost, I got to be picky about special teams. You know what I mean? I gotta shout them out. I mean, everyone out there is super talented. Guys are flying around, a lot of speed, and I'm just excited to get into preseason and watch those guys work, and just try and send some balls downfield and let them go do their thing.
Did you know much about Coach Ross before he got here? What do you know now?
I've definitely heard about him. I mean, he's a young coordinator. I think this is his 4th year as a coordinator, as a head guy, and I've heard great things about him in general. But I've heard about his intensity and his coaching style, and it's great. I think it's great to have special teams coordinators that have that energy, that are willing to go out there and demonstrate drills exactly like they want it, how they want it to be done. So I mean, he's doing a great job, and I'm excited just to keep going and keep working with him.
You want to show your Rocky video yet?
just a couple Rocky videos. He switches out his mugs every day, but he has his Rocky mug just about every other day. So I've heard a thing or two about Rocky.
You replaced Cam Johnston. Is there any difference in y'all's games or anything like that? It seems like you have a lot of hang time. It's kind of tamer. Is that the difference?
I mean, there's quite a few differences between our games. I mean, Cam is definitely another big leg punter, and here I am coming into another situation with big shoes to fill. So I'm excited for that challenge, but yeah, I mean, coming in after Cam, we've got some similarities, some differences. He hits a lot of the end-over-end balls across field, just from his Australian background. I don't really do that a whole lot. I'm kind of a hang-time, big ball punter, just, bang the ball downfield and let the guys go work. But something we've been working on a lot is directional punting and really trying to attack sidelines and just put the gunners in the best position possible for them to go down and work.
Tell me, how old were you when you first started punting?
So I started around my freshman, sophomore year, maybe around sophomore year. It was one of those things. My brother got into punting, and he started getting some scholarship offers, and just little brother mentality. I can do this too. So I followed up with that, and just became overly obsessed with it, and here we are.
The aforementioned hang time. What do you think is key to you building your leg strength and flexibility to be able to fall through the ball yard?
I think a big thing is just building athleticism early. I mean, I was a running back growing up. I played corner and safety in high school. And another thing is just training like an athlete. That's something I've always taken pride in is trying to be athletic and do things that, not a whole lot of other punters can do.
Explain to me, because I've watched you guys were running sprints over here on the other field over here. The tick with you guys on special team, Fairbairn and everything, what are y'all, who's the wildest one out of the group? I mean, which one's got the quirkiest quirks? I mean, because special team guys, folks think you got quirks. Who might be the quirkiest one out of y'all?
I don't know. I'd probably say, maybe myself. I mean, Weeks and Emi, they're both super easygoing guys. I don't know. I've got a couple little ticks and stuff. I'm not too friendly with myself. I don't know if y'all have overheard it. I'm not too friendly with myself if I hit some bad punts. But that's something that I think it's also a positive, is that I hold myself extremely accountable for for punts that are under the expectation or subpar. So pretty hard on myself. But, yeah.
A guy like Weeks has been doing what he does for 15 years. Is that on your mind? Are you just aware that he's one of the best?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of trust there. I mean, the first time that we worked together, we went over to Rice University, and we were kicking on the field there, and we were probably punting nonstop for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and he snapped every single ball after ball after ball after ball, and he has his phone rolling behind him, and he goes and he stops the video after 30 minutes, restarts it. So I mean, he's just a machine. I mean, 15 years in, and he's still snapping the heck out of the ball and super accurate. And I mean, but just great guys in general. Weeks and Emi are just salt of the earth, great people. So I couldn't be more fired up to come into a group like this.
Other than having a great quarterback, what's the key to the kind of success that you saw in Kansas City outside looking in that maybe a locker room needs to have to win on that level and be as consistent? game to game?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think one of the biggest things I noticed, from my time in Kansas City is like when things really get tough, or we get into tight situations, big games, late in the game, trying to come back and win. Nobody on the sideline freaks out. Like, everyone is very calm. Everyone knows what they need to do, and it's just everybody knows what they have to do. Everybody knows their job, and everybody just wants to go out and execute. Nobody is wide-eyed or freaking out or making the moment too big. And I think that's been one of the coolest things to watch in Kansas City, was just how all the players treat those big moments.
You got a chance to talk to your father. He said that your leg comes from your mother, but your meanness comes from him. How good does it feel just to have your parents here out here supporting you?
Yeah, it's amazing to have them out here. This is their first day in Houston, and I mean, none of us have really spent much time in Houston in general, but yeah, I was super happy that they could come out today, and I thought it was pretty cool. They were down there in the the parents' end zone, and we were hitting punts today towards that end zone, so especially like the pooch punts, so they could see the ball drop down and let the guys go work. So yeah, I'm excited that they're here. They get to meet my new teammates, my coaches, staff. So they're just as excited as I am.
What was it like having that support system going through your football journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, they've been the most supportive people in my life. I mean, everything that I possibly could have needed. I mean, they've gone out of their way to give me everything they can to achieve my goals and just try and be like the best person I can. So I mean, they've been amazing in shaping me into the person that I am now, and especially the player I am, and having the opportunity to play the sport.
That you played football, your dad's an attorney. What was those types of conversations like with him?
Wait, what's that?
So your dad's an attorney.
Oh yeah.
You play football. Was it a lot of semantics when you're talking to him back and forth?
So he's always trying to like look over like every single contract that comes across like the table. Like whether it's random like brand deals or like even the Texans contract. He wanted to like look over every single line of it. So definitely fortunate to have him as an attorney, an extra set of eyes, and a free set of eyes.
Did you get us 3% off from you after you looked over your contract? I'm just sort of curious. You didn't give us 3%, did you?
Yeah, I should probably start paying him a little percentage of the contracts he looks over for me.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks guys. Good to meet y'all. Yeah, thank you. Good to meet y'all.